We're wrapping up another very stormy evening across central and eastern Kentucky. We'll track the potential for additional rounds of storms just ahead.
Some homes here in Madison County were badly damaged after a storm tore through the area.
Strong winds, heavy rain, and lightning strikes all kept first responders in Franklin County busy tonight.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. WKYT News starts now with First Alert Weather.
And good evening. Tonight, some people around the Bluegrass are cleaning up after another round of storms moved through this area. Many of you saw heavy rain, strong winds, and some hail.
And those storms even sparked some tornado warnings. A first alert severe weather day continues. We begin our team coverage tonight with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey. A little bit calmer right now, right?
Yeah, much better sky that is out there across the area. And that first alert severe weather day will wind down shortly as those flash flood warnings that are out continue to kind of go by the wayside. This flash flood warning should be expiring very soon. The other across parts of the Lexington metro going until 12:15. Now, no wonder we've been seeing additional rounds of flooding. Look at our live first alert defender rainfall estimator showing anywhere from 1 to local 2 and 3 inch amounts on a corridor along and especially north of Interstate 64, where we had a couple of rounds of some strong and severe thunderstorms throughout the day. Another corridor across southern Kentucky, upwards of 3 inches of rain falling into those areas. Local additional accumulations in between there. You had some pockets of around 2 inches as well. A much improved live first alert defender from what we were showing you earlier this evening when we were tracking a supercell thunderstorm that may have dropped at least a funnel cloud, if not a out-and-out tornado into parts of Garrett and Madison counties a little earlier this evening. It didn't do a ton of damage, but we're going to show you some of that damage here in just a little bit. Into southeastern Kentucky, still some heavy rains going on into the Big Sandy Valley. Knox County over into Whitley County, some renegade showers getting ready to scoot on out of here. The rest of the area showing up to be in pretty clear conditions. What about the rest of the overnight? Let's hit the fast forward button with your hour-by-hour radar. Think of this as the future radar. By early tomorrow, it's trying to fire up an isolated shower thunderstorm across northern Kentucky. Then as the morning wears on, making that transition into the afternoon, you notice how nothing that is truly organized is coming at us. Should be a little more scattered as we go into our Wednesday. But guys, coming up here in just a little bit, I'm going to show you why the rounds of showers and storms may crank back up later tomorrow and into Thursday. We'll track the heavy rain threat as well when I come back in a few minutes.
All right, Chris, you mentioned damage. A powerful storm did cause problems in parts of Madison County tonight.
We received some eyewitness videos from the Kingston and Brassfield area south of Richmond. Many people there told us they saw a funnel cloud. The storm also dumped heavy rain, flooding some roads. Garrett Weimer talked to some people who now have a mess to clean up at their homes. He continues our team coverage.
It didn't last long.
It was a matter of just maybe 10 seconds, and it was over.
But the storm tore through Rainbow Ridge long enough to leave behind a path of destruction.
Blowed the storm door off my house, blowed 4 columns off the front of my house, and all the underneath the porch is gone, and blowed probably 30 or 40% of my shutters off.
Neighbors say they saw the storm go right over Ede's home.
I just stand on the porch and I heard something coming through the trees, and I just looked over here toward Gordon and Achy, and a bunch of shingles up in the air, and I hollered at my wife and told her, hey, it was coming through here, and then it went down in front of the house.
Just in a matter of seconds, just debris start flying over top of their house. And I actually just ran. I told the kids, I said, I think there's a tornado, so we ran actually into the other room.
The storm also blew a neighbor's shed into their yard. But with water leaking through the roof as the rain continued to fall, Ede said he knew they needed to do something right then.
Water come in the house, and we got buckets in there catching it, which we put a tarp all the way across the top of the house now, and hopefully we got that solved.
In Madison County, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
Well, the National Weather Service plans to survey the storm damage in Madison County tomorrow morning.
And another storm caused problems in Franklin County tonight. Lightning and high water causing damage there. And emergency crews even had to rescue a driver trapped in a flooded road. Monique Blair talked to the Franklin County Sheriff about a busy night for first responders.
The atmosphere is fairly calm now, but earlier as the storms rolled through Franklin County, emergency crews were very busy.
High water a water rescue, lightning hit in the house. Franklin County Fire responded to that with us. And then we had a tree that hit a power line. We called a couple of extra deputies in to help due to the volume of calls for service.
Franklin County Sheriff Pat Melton says since the ground was already so wet from last Friday's rain, today's rain had nowhere to go. But luckily, the monsoon effect didn't last long today, and the water has started to go down. However, Sheriff Melton says it's important to consider that more rain is expected this week, and with all the recent water rescues, drivers should absolutely avoid driving through water on the roadways.
Sunshine. I think that right now that's probably everybody probably ought to say a prayer tonight that we have some sun in between these rainstorms.
Sheriff Melton tells me no one was hurt in any of those emergency calls they responded to tonight, but he really cautions you to be aware of the roadways and the weather that's ahead. In Franklin County, Monique Blair, WKYT.
Now, no damage were reported in Lexington tonight after a storm moved through here, but Kentucky Utilities reports 19,000 customers had no power at one point. All but a few of them have since been restored. Lexington police say the storm also knocked out traffic signals, especially along Versailles Road and Broadway, but power has been restored to those areas as well.
The storms that moved through the bluegrass also packed a lot of lightning. Take a look at this video that we shot in Scott County. You can see some lightning strikes from a storm that passed through Georgetown. We checked with Scott County emergency leaders tonight. They did not report any major storm damage. Pretty incredible. Many of you shared your eyewitness pictures with us from tonight's storms. Sherry shared a picture taken along Highway 27 in Garrett County. As you can see, hail covered the road after a storm moved through there. And Jacob sent us another picture from Winchester. He says part of his backyard flooded tonight because of heavy rain. If you have storm pictures, you can share them by looking for the eyewitness tab on WKYT.com or post them to our Facebook page.
Today, Senator Rand Paul made it official he'll be running for president next year. The Kentucky Republican and Tea Party favorite kicked off his campaign in Louisville. He says he's running to defend the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. He wants a constitutional amendment to force Congress to balance the budget, and he wants to put limits on terms in office.
I have a vision for America. I want to be part of a return to prosperity, a true economic boom that lifts all Americans, a return to a government restrained by the Constitution.
Senator Paul is kicking off his campaign with a 5-state tour. He'll talk to voters in New Hampshire tomorrow.
Tonight, a man now faces a murder charge for a shooting death in Lexington. Lexington police say they charged 21-year-old Dustin Yost today. He was already in the Fayette County Detention Center. Investigators say the victim, 20-year-old Vondre Smithers, was found shot in the middle of Belafonte Drive last month. He later died at UK Hospital. Along with murder, police also charged Yost with evidence tampering.
Today, Lexington Mayor Jim Gray unveiled his proposed budget for the city for the next fiscal year. The mayor predicts city revenues will be around $324 million, more than 3% higher than last year. He says his proposed budget invests in Lexington's future. He set aside money to hire 10 new police officers, buy police body cameras, and to improve the city's internet speeds. And the budget includes $22 million to renovate the old Fayette County courthouse.
Its image is on practically every branding and marketing document and website in the city. It is one of the most significant public buildings in Kentucky, and it faces a critical moment.
Mayor Gray also wants money to explore the possibility of a new government center in Lexington. The budget needs the approval of the Urban County Council.
They were found in bad shape at a central Kentucky farm. Some horses had been abandoned and were starving.
But they were rescued, and now months later, they're doing much better. New at 11 tonight, Victor Puente talks to some people at the organization that stepped in to help them.
Back in August, the Kentucky Equine Humane Center took in 7 mares from an abandonment case. Some of them were in poor health, but since then, they've recovered and may soon be up for adoption. In that case, more than 40 horses were in need of new homes.
When we get calls from people who have large numbers of horses that need some kind of placement, we really try to make room.
That included a registered thoroughbred named Jazz Combo and her filly named Rhythm and Grace. The young horse required immediate attention.
And her mom was not in very good condition at all.
But in the months since, both have put on weight and are beginning to thrive. The center takes in horses and gets them healthy until they can find new homes.
We have a part-time trainer who works with every horse to get them to some level of rideability, and then we adopt them out to a new home.
A grant from the ASPCA helped with the care of the 7 horses taken in that case. Donations are also a big part of the work done here.
It's very tangible, very visible. It's very gratifying to see a horse like Jazz Combo come in, who is basically very compromised physically, and they open up like little flowers. They really do. It's pretty neat to watch.
Gustin says on average the center takes in and adopts out between 6 to 10 horses a month, and that can get expensive, with care for a single horse costing about $500 during that month. In Jessamine County, Victor Puente, WKYT.
The Equine Humane Center hosts 2 large fundraisers every year. The first will be April 18th at Ball and Tray Farm in Lexington.
Help is on the way for people whose homes were damaged by flooding in Bourbon County. Heavy rain caused Stoner Creek to flood last Friday. Emergency managers say at least 20 homes were damaged. Tomorrow, Kentucky Baptist Disaster Relief plans to help flood victims, and the organization is asking for volunteers to pitch in.
We help with the cleanup to try to help the people that's been through these terrible situations so they can get back into their homes as quick as possible.
The organization will base its efforts at Central Baptist Church in Paris. Volunteers expect to be working for at least 4 days. If you'd like to help, just show up to the church.
Speaking of all the rain tonight, heavy rain and flooding last week damaged a ballpark in Cynthiana. Park leaders say baseball fields were under more than 3 feet of water on Friday. The water has since gone down, but it's left a muddy mess behind. Park workers are now cleaning it up and trying to figure out what equipment they can save. The park sits in a floodplain, so this is not the first time it's flooded.
Ours is just as good as anybody's around. Ours happens to be in a floodplain.
Now, park leaders say there is not enough money to build a new park right now, and they say the start of the season could be postponed because of the flooding.